So they finally make a movie on the most powerful character within the MCU, and the end product is just something average. Hello people, I'm very sorry that this review is very long overdue, but I had to go and see the film a second time due to the 4 shitheads who were in the theatre last time who won't stop talking. So yeah, it's amazing that people talking can distract you so goddamn easily from a film, even if it has loud explosions. Bloody hell. When I went into this one, people tried to talk again, but this time I grabbed hold of my own nutsack and I said, no. Not this time. The opening scene where it's Carol Danvers' memories and you see the scroll approach the screen, point a gun at the camera. Guy behind me says, "Is that Thanos?" And that was the moment I thought, no. So I said, "Excuse me, can you be quiet please?" And they did. Enough about that. Captain Marvel was directed by Annette Boden and it stars Brie Larson as Captain Marvel herself. She's part of the Kree Star Force and gets stranded on Earth. And then all these old memories start popping up and she's questioning where she fits in. I didn't know what to expect, but I must say that this film has some of the best facial CGI I have ever seen. The CGI on Samuel L. Jackson's face and on Phil Coulson's face looked absolutely incredible. So goddamn realistic. I mean, at least some companies can get it right. So from that visual aspect, it's just incredible. Characters that look real. Why can't stuff like Star Wars? I mean, did you see how bad the CGI was on Tarkin and Leia in that film, in Rogue One? Terrible. So that visual aspect really made it look like Samuel L. Jackson was. It was like a Samuel L. Jackson from the noughties. It looked that realistic. It looked goddamn real. I couldn't even tell that Samuel L. Jackson had CGI on his face because it was that realistic. Though I thought the CGI on Samuel L. Jackson was a little bit better than Phil Coulson's CGI, but still overall pretty good. I'll praise the fact that Carol Danvers is a badass. There are some extremely exciting action sequences, particularly towards the beginning, more so than the end. The beginning, one scene in particular, she's got her hands bound and she's kicking a load of Skrull ass. Great choreography, great stunts behind the whole thing. It showed wide camera angle shots so you could see what was going on, but towards the end it was sort of more close-up camera, and I don't know how it went from the sort of action which everybody wants to the sort of action which Hollywood seemed to like. I'm a sucker for those wide shots where you can see what's going on. Particularly the one scene which reminded me of that was in Aquaman, where Aquaman and the redhead, forgot her name, put it here, were running away from Bug-Eyed Dude. And the camera panned out really fast so you could see all the stunts they were doing. They were leaping over buildings, you could see the action from afar. Captain Marvel did that towards the beginning, but towards the end the camera was just panned up really close and the action wasn't filmed as well. Camera angles changed, I didn't really like that much. But I am highly satisfied with what we got at the beginning. There's also that train sequence which we saw in the trailer, which is not a spoiler. That scene and the scene at the beginning with the wide shot have got to be the most memorable parts of the film for me. The rest of the action is still pretty good, just that I don't think it's filmed as well. No, I won't lie, the story's a bit cliche. For a film to have cliches is perfectly fine as long as they're done well. There's a difference between using cliches badly and using them good. This film's a little hit and miss. Carol Danvers will say a lot of really cliche lines which we've seen in tons of films. I don't remember my past. I'm having these memories. I don't know who I am! You lied to me! Said no character in any movie ever. So it's just stuff like that. How many films have we seen where there's a character who has no memory of his or her past, and then when they find out the revealing truth, it's shocking and not what they expected, and they're like, I can't believe this was my life. Something like that. It was a little bit cringy at times. Not that it's a problem with the film. I thought Brie Larson was good with what she was given. She obviously did the best she could, but I thought her character was extremely underutilised. There could have been a lot more to her. She's supposed to be the MCU's most powerful character. How did they mess this up? Where did it go wrong? Because the writing wasn't very good. That's where it went wrong. Not to discredit Brie Larson, she actually did pretty well. But there's only so much an actor and actress can do with what little they're given. No matter how good of an actor you are, if you're given a bad script, it's not going to turn out very well. Brie Larson was also one of my predictions for a standout performance of this year. Films that I've seen her in the past, I've always thought she was pretty good, so I was excited to see her take on a Marvel character, especially the most powerful one in the whole entire thing. Maybe second to Thanos, I'm not sure. It's disappointing when you go in expecting so much, just for her writing to be, oh, it's alright. Talent like Brie Larson needs to do more. They need to give her more. Come on, people. She's a fantastic actress. She doesn't deserve this. Jesus. So with this film, maybe I went in with a few too many high expectations. Because if you've noticed with the Marvel fan base, when a Marvel film comes out, fans rave for it. They expect it to be good. They expect a certain type of movie, and when you go in and you don't get that, fans get pissed off. Maybe that nostalgia was in my head slightly, and I let it dampen my spirits in the actual film as a whole. Maybe the writing just wasn't that good. But with talent like Brie Larson, they need to give her a little more to go on, and hopefully they improve on that in any sequels. Some of the dialogue with some of the characters was a bit hit and miss as well. There are pretty much no interesting characters outside of Captain Marvel, Nick Fury, and maybe some of the Skrulls. And I remember watching back on some of the trailers, the way Samuel L. Jackson's character was acting, it was a bit out of character for Nick Fury. But then after that, I sort of shrugged it aside and thought, this is a Nick Fury who's at least 20 odd years younger. Maybe more. Look at you, aren't you the cutest little thing? And there are also some moments in the film which I feel kind of contradict what the older MCU films were trying to do. There's no way I can get into specific details without ruining anything, but you will understand what I'm on about as soon as you watch it. It's like the old MCU films set up something, and then when they finally make a prequel movie, like Captain Marvel, it sort of contradicts it, and then you're asking questions like, wait, why did that happen in the older ones then? You'll know exactly what I mean as soon as you watch it. But there's no way I could go into specifics without giving away any spoilers. This is a spoiler-free review, people. Come on. I want to go into one more negative because I feel I've bashed this film a lot more than I've praised it, and it's not a bad movie. It's not a bad movie by all means. I'm going to go into one final negative before I talk about what I liked about the film. Hey guys, this is Jimbo from the future. I may have accidentally dropped a small spoiler in this one little section of the video, which I didn't realise until editing it later on. So I thought I'd add this little audio just to make sure people don't have the film ruined for them. It's not a big spoiler, but just pre-warning. Ronan the Accuser, he's still a bland villain. How did they fuck this up? They give a villain, one of the most forgettable villains of the entire MCU universe, and they give him a second chance and still do nothing with him. He's still the bad guy that'll stand there. Take her away. Kill him. Shoot her down. I am the bad guy. So yeah, not much has changed in that aspect, and I was actually excited to see Ronan back in this film. Maybe it's due to the limited screen time he had, but overall I just don't think the writers did enough with him either, to give him a second chance to shine and still fuck it up. But despite all those flaws, there's actually quite a lot to like about Captain Marvel as well. The visuals are spectacular, especially the world of Kree and Hala itself. Marvel never seem to disappoint on those big opening sequences where it shows the world that they've made. Asgard, Wakanda, and now Kree. To Marvel's story, it is interesting, the backstory between the Skrulls and the Kree. Captain Marvel's powers, how she got them, her backstory, moments where she's kicking ass is just, wow. She's an absolute badass. Maybe not so much the space battle we saw in the trailers, because that kind of looked like late PS3 graphics. But I am definitely interested in seeing more of this character to see what they do with her in Avengers Endgame, and then hopefully they'll give us a little more to go on, give Brie Larson a little more credit for what she does, give her more stuff to go on, and then I reckon we could have a pretty solid character in future films. So for the most part, I did enjoy Captain Marvel, but there is a lot of room for improvement. Again, I think maybe it's that, or maybe the amount of backlash the film got before it was even released is what dampened my spirits in the film a little bit, if that makes sense. Dampened my perspective, not spirits. Don't get your knickers in a twist, this is just my opinion. I think the film turned out to be a sort of disappointment in the end due to the fact that the build up towards it, the marketing, was just constantly people bashing the film before even seeing it. I saw videos on YouTube, Captain Marvel will suck. Brie Larson is going to ruin Marvel. Fuck off, is she? Yeah, we were given pretty bland trailers. 9 times out of 10, if I see a bad trailer, there's a good film behind it. If I see a good trailer, there's usually a bad film behind it. For example, the trailer for Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom was amazing. The film itself was meh. This, on the other hand, gave us like 3 really bad trailers which didn't really give us much to go on. And I reckon that got fans angry. Overall, I don't think Captain Marvel is a bad film at all. It's fine. Brie Larson's fine with what she's given, but there is a lot of room for improvement. So, after all that, I'm going to give Captain Marvel a C. What did you think of Captain Marvel? Down below in the comments. Here's my question for you today. If the film wasn't bashed constantly before release, do you think fans' perspective of the whole thing would have been a bit different? That's my question for you guys today. And as always, I hope you have a fantastic day. If you're new to my channel, please consider clicking that subscribe button at least once a week. Remember, you are awesome. Take care.